Preston, thank you very much. So on what grounds are you suing Ofcom?
Well, Starmer clearly failed to fool Trump into thinking that we have free speech in Britain and Scotland the other day, because the White House are quite upset and American lawyers are pretty upset about the restrictions Ofcom is trying to place on American companies, even threatening their owners with imprisonment in a British prison.
So Ofcom has awoken the screaming eagle, and they're really not going to like the results of what comes next. In the United States, we have this thing called the First Amendment, and the First Amendment protects an American's right to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime about anything they choose without interference from anybody, not Congress, not a senator, not the governor, not even the president, and certainly not a British unelected bureaucrat. Ofcom has been sending letters to my clients, and I have intercepted and read every single one of the 4 companies, American social media companies they've targeted with this. And I have forwarded all that correspondence to the White House. And the White House is really, really, really ticked off. For context about how seriously we take these things in the United States, if I were to do what Ofcom did and threaten an American in the free exercise of their constitutional rights, I would be subject to a 10-year federal prison term. If I paired it with a threat to kidnap, the maximum penalty is death. They have no idea what they've woken up. The empire is extremely cheesed off. Lord Palmerston said in 1850, he invoked the famous Roman saying, "Civis Romanus sum," when the British Empire was running the show, to describe the idea that if you mess with any Briton anywhere on the planet, you're going to have to deal with everybody. Well, you picked on an American, and now you got all of us to deal with.
Preston, you raised the prospect of kidnap, and of course that is presumably because in this country we are threatening the arrest of American technology executives or employees if they don't follow British rules. But I suppose the issue is an American firm could simply say, we're not going to provide a service to Britain, we're just going to shut down our website, Brits won't be able to access it. I mean, I suppose they could then argue, Ofcom could then argue, well, you have the choice that you either operate in our jurisdiction and follow our rules or you don't.
Well, we're not operating in Ofcom's jurisdictions or following its rules. These companies are American companies running American servers and American software on American soil. And Ofcom is purporting to have the authority to dictate to these American companies what they can and can't publish and who they can and can't talk to. And with all due respect to the British government, and the Labour government and Ofcom, we fought a war over this, and the UK lost.
Wow, pretty strong words there from the lawyer Preston Byrne, who is not happy at all with the restrictions that Ofcom is now trying to impose on American tech companies. The online safety bill, it is causing some absolute nightmares for tech companies. They're terrified if their, AI algorithms make any mistake that they're going to get huge fines and get potentially thrown in prison. I'm going to show you a couple more updates about the online safety bill, which I'm sure you'd love to see because it's crazy stuff. But before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. So let's take a look at a couple of things I want to show you guys. This has been circulating around social media this morning, and people have found and posted up this list of what is considered illegal content by the Online Safety Act, and there's one section highlighted in red there, which I think we can all agree is pretty concerning. So let me be clear about how this online safety bill works. So you've got certain content which is restricted for over 18s only. So for example, if you want to access a porn site, you now will have to verify your age, right? And also you're seeing people posting, for example, that they need to verify their age to use Spotify, for example. It's not just porn sites, because then Spotify can determine which content is child friendly, which content is not child friendly, and change accordingly. But what is scary about this act is that it also, of course, lays out what is considered illegal content for everybody. Nobody is allowed to see this stuff. Nobody apparently should be posting this stuff. And you have a list here of what is considered illegal content. And I think we will all agree that some things on this list should count as illegal content. For example, child sexual abuse or intimate image abuse. Fair enough. Okay, this list is of some quite pretty extreme content, but then you have something dropped in that list. Illegal immigration and people smuggling. Now, if we read at the top of this, it says the kinds of illegal content and activity that platforms need to protect users from include content relating to illegal immigration and people smuggling. I'm sorry, but that seems to suggest to me that if I post content that relates to illegal migration, I am breaking the law. Are you are you crazy, Ofcom? This is beyond belief. They've snuck this in here and essentially have, I mean, maybe I'm reading this wrong, but it sounds as though they are telling us that it is illegal to talk about illegal migration and smuggling. I mean, I'm almost lost for words, right? I mean, if this is the case, then I've broken the law today, I've broken the law yesterday, I've broken the law all week because I talk about illegal migration on most days. This is genuinely, genuinely terrifying. And what is also terrifying is how these platforms are going to have to overly censor if they are going to comply with these laws, because they're terrified of their AI algorithm accidentally making a mistake, because the fines and the penalties and potential imprisonment is so harsh, right? So when they're figuring out an algorithm to try and figure out what posts to take down, they're going to bring in an algorithm that is overly sensitive, right? And consequently, you're already seeing examples of stuff being taken down that shouldn't be taken down. So you've got this one here, which is Guido posted an article saying Kia suffers extinction event. You've got a picture of a baby with Keir Starmer's face photoshopped onto it. And this was about a story, very mild story, just saying that the name Kia hasn't been given to any babies in the past year. Nobody wants to have a child with the same name as Keir Starmer, which is quite funny. But then that's now being restricted on Twitter. So it says, due to local laws, we are temporarily restricting access to this content until X estimates your age. So the algorithm has decided that this article saying that the Kia baby name is now unpopular is something that is inappropriate for under 18s, and you shouldn't be able to access it unless you send social media platforms a picture of your face. This is clearly a mistake in the algorithm. As Guido says in the article here, this is known as overcompliance with onerous legislation, and the government won't be happy to hear that Guido is recommending that everyone in the UK downloads a VPN, and the VPN sales are absolutely through the roof at the moment because people are already fed up of it, and it just makes the Online Safety Act pointless and reduces safety for children. All the children are now using VPNs because the kids are getting fed up with things being taken down that shouldn't be taken down. Okay, it's probably it's probably not the case that all the kids downloading VPNs are just kids that want to access porn. It's going to be kids who get frustrated that they see that normal things that aren't inappropriate, that are perfectly fine for children to access, are being taken down because of oversensitive algorithms. They get fed up with it and they decide, oh, I'm just going to get a VPN. So I don't have stuff taken down that I can't see all the time. So there we go. That is the latest on the online safety bill. We will, of course, be watching closely to see if the Americans can succeed on taking this down. I really, really hope that the White House does get involved and puts very strong pressure on Keir Starmer to get this bill repealed. I mean, I fear we're going to be stuck with this until 2029, but it's going to be very interesting to see how in the short to medium term this plays out with American tech companies. Could we potentially see all of our social media platforms that are based in America, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, could they be taken down in the UK? Could they just be gone if these tech companies refuse to comply? And we're going to be like North Korea, where we don't have any social media or anything. I mean, that would be crazy. We'll see what happens, but we'll of course keep you updated. Hopefully YouTube is allowed to stay in the UK, else I don't know what I'm going to do with my time. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you press subscribe down below if you haven't already for more videos like this.